It's Wednesday. It's a good day to have a good day. Hi, everyone. My name is Cece Ray. Thank you for joining me. And we are talking about Alec Baldwin. That's right. Yesterday, he was officially charged with 2 counts of involuntary manslaughter. Should he be charged? Should he not be charged? Is he guilty? Not guilty? Let's get into it. But before we do that, make sure you like, subscribe, hit the notification bell. This way you don't miss any episodes. And with that, let's break the dish. Well, we knew this was coming. We heard that eventually the prosecutor would be formally filing charges against Alec Baldwin, and she did yesterday. So, should he be charged? Should he not be charged? I'm not sure. Let me read you the statement from ABC News. Actor and producer Alec Baldwin was formally charged Tuesday with involuntary manslaughter in the deadly 2021 shooting on the set of his Western movie Rust in New Mexico, according to court documents. Similar charges were formally filed against the film's armorer, Hannah Gutierrez-Reed. Santa Fe District Attorney Mary Carmack Altruis announced she'd be bringing the charges earlier this month following a lengthy investigation into the death of the movie's cinematographer Helena Hutchins on the film's set in October of 2021. Baldwin was holding a gun during a rehearsal when it discharged, killing Hutchins and wounding director Joel Souza. In a probable cause statement prosecutors filed with the court Tuesday, an investigator working with the prosecution claimed that Balwin failed to address multiple significant safety violations on the set and noted that training in basic firearm safety rules was made available to Baldwin. The evidence clearly indicates that Baldwin recklessly ignored these rules on multiple occasions, resulting in the fatal shooting, the statement said. Now, you know, when I first heard the news that this happened, and it was a tragedy, I thought, oh my goodness, you know, to be in his shoes. I'm sure that Alec Baldwin never even thought in a million years he would ever kill somebody, more or less somebody he happened to be fairly close with. They've known each other for a long time. They had a relationship for sure. And to kill someone, I can't even imagine. I heard on an interview his wife saying that he was having nightmares. And I would too. Can you imagine? So at first I thought, gosh, he shouldn't be charged for this. I mean, he's not responsible. He's just the actor. Now, the armorer is a different story. But I did hear, however, and don't quote me, but I did hear that he was supposed to attend a safety course prior to filming, which he did not do. And then a safety course was available to him while he was on set, and the whole time he was on the phone with his family. So was he taking it seriously? No. But playing devil's advocate here, he's probably like, yeah, I know. I've handled a gun before. I've done, you know, multiple times. I know how it goes. Just keep going. I'm listening. Possibly. You never know, right? Okay. So, moving on. Rust Assistant Director David Halls has signed a plea agreement for a charge of negligent use of a deadly weapon. The district attorney's office announced earlier this month Halls is expected to serve a suspended sentence and is 6 months of probation. The plea agreement won't be released until it's approved by a judge. Now that's interesting to me. What do you think? So the assistant director, David Halls, has already, that quickly, he signed a plea agreement. He already knows what his sentencing is going to be. He's pled out. So this way, he gets a suspended sentence and a 6 months probation, so he never does a day in jail. Why so quickly? So I'm curious. To get that plea agreement, is he working with the prosecution? Giving them all the answers that they want to hear? Just saying. I'm just curious. Maybe not. Just curious. Just something to, think about. On the day of the shooting, October 21st, 2021, the investigator alleges in the probable cause statement that after a lunch break, Gutierrez Reed retrieved Balwin's gun from a prop truck safe and didn't perform a safety check on the weapon. Now, this is the armorer they're talking about. According to the statement, the industry standard is for the armorer to check each round in a gun and show them to the assistant director and the actor. Gutierrez Reed handed Balwin's gun to Halls, remember he's the assistant director that pled out, and contrary to standard requirements, did not remain on set and allowed Halls to take the gun unsupervised, according to the statement. The evidence is consistent that Reed failed to show Halls each dummy round and pull them out for safety, nor did Halls request it. That's what the statement said. Reed did not show Balwin the loaded firearm either. Now, after the charges were filed, Gutierrez Reed's attorney said in a statement that their client had asked to be called back into the church if Balwin was going to use the gun. The tragedy of this is that had Hannah, the armorer, just been called back into the church by Halls, she would have performed the inspection and prevented this tragedy. So what they're saying right now is that the armorer, the assistant director, asked her to bring the gun to him. She said, basically, here's the gun, but don't do anything with it. When you're ready to use it, let me know, and I'll go over all the safety procedures. And so what her attorney is saying is they didn't ask her back. Is that the truth? I mean, I'm really questioning why was there a loaded gun in the first place, even in the prop truck? I mean, it should be all blanks, I would think. You're on a set. You're not there shooting anybody. You know, when you look at this girl, the armorer, I mean, she seems so young. How much experience could she have? You know, I'm thinking, this is just my mind, because I'm a little woohoo, but I'm just thinking, this film probably doesn't have a huge budget. And they cut corners. I mean, I had heard, don't quote me now, but I had heard that they had problems with some of the crew who had walked off the set earlier in shooting because of the conditions. And they had to bring new crew in. So I'm thinking that the budget is not huge for this film. So they're cutting corners. And if you have a young, this is her first or second job being an armorer, compared to another person who's got 30 years experience as an armorer, I'm thinking they're charging a lot more money than she is. Which one do you think they went with? I'm just saying. So I'm also thinking that if this is one of her first big jobs, which I don't know, that, you know, I mean, when you have all these people there that are big actors and everything, they kind of were like, yeah, just give me the gun. Yeah, I'll call you, no problem. I mean, it's possible. I'm just saying. It's possible. But whatever the case is, it was her job, though, to make sure that the guns were properly handled. And the real question is, why were there real rounds in this gun? In the prop safe? Why were there? Period. There shouldn't have been any. That's the real question. Nobody knows. So, it goes on to say that authorities also found 2 negligent discharge incidents had happened on the set sometime before the shooting, according to the statement. In one incident, the film's prop master, Sarah Zachary, was handling a revolver that wasn't Baldwin's, according to the statement. She was holding the weapon and manipulating it while walking, and she discharged a blank cartridge into the ground. In another incident, a stunt double discharged a period rifle that was loaded and left with the performer unattended, according to the statement. The document didn't identify the stunt double. So they've already had 2 issues there. I don't think they're huge issues. I mean, it doesn't sound like it, but still 2 issues there that had to be reported. Like I said, not a huge budget, so, just saying. When the charges were initially announced, Baldwin's attorney, Luke Nikas, I believe that's how it's pronounced, called them a terrible miscarriage of justice. The actor previously told ABC News he didn't pull the gun's trigger before it discharged. In the probable cause statement, the investigators said an FBI analysis found the weapon could not fire without the trigger being pressed. Also, according to the statement, photos and videos from the day of the shooting show Balwin with his finger inside of the trigger guard on the trigger while manipulating the hammer and while drawing, pointing, and holstering the revolver. Well, we know he had to have the gun. He had to have his finger on the gun. Obviously, he had to pull the trigger. Hello? The gun didn't just magically go off. I mean, really? Gutierrez Reed's attorney said she didn't commit involuntary manslaughter and called the shooting a tragic accident. Baldwin and Gutierrez Reed are expected to each be issued a summons now that charges have been filed, the district attorney's office said. They'll then be given a date for their initial court appearance, which can be done virtually. How nice of them. After the initial appearance, a preliminary hearing would then be held before a judge who will assess the prosecutor's case and decide whether the case can go to trial. Such hearings are usually held within 60 days of charges being filed, according to the district attorney's office. When charges were announced, CBS News legal contributor Jessica Levinson, a professor at Loyola Law School, said it was possible the case may not go to a jury at every step along the way if there is a plea deal on the table. If you hear pounding, that's because they're working on my solar panels. I'm so sorry. And no charges were expected to be filed stemming from the shooting of Salza. So what do you think? What do you think? Should Alec Baldwin be charged? Should he not be charged? I mean, like I said, when I first heard it, I thought, no, he shouldn't be charged. He was just doing his job. But when you look at it as a whole, he is responsible. It is his movie. I'm not sure. I think he's producing it as well. They've had problems on the set. We know that. And the real question is, why were there real bullets in this gun? Why were there real bullets in the gun? I mean, playing devil's advocate, and listen, remember my brain, cuckoo. My brain goes to, maybe there was a discussion somewhere along the lines. where Alec Baldwin and the director, they all said, why don't we use real bullets, because you get a better sound, it looks better, it sounds better, instead of, the dummies or fake ones or whatever you want to call them. Maybe that was a discussion that was had, and we are just not privy to it right now. Maybe, just maybe, that's also why the assistant director right away did a plea deal, which I find kind of interesting. That fast, he got a plea deal on the table, and he's never even going to serve a day in jail. I'm not saying he should, but I find that interesting. So, is he giving them evidence against the other two to save his own? But now I want to hear what you have to think, what you have to say. You've been listening to me this whole time. That's no fun. So I want to hear your thoughts, your comments. First off, do you think Alec Baldwin should be charged, or should he not be charged? Make sure you comment down below, because I'm really curious. And before you do that, make sure you like, subscribe, and hit that notification bell. Also, let me remind you that tomorrow I am recapping Salt Lake City reunion part 2. I'm excited, and I'm hoping it's better than part 1. That's for sure. Also, if you're looking for possibly what to make for dinner tonight, want an idea, or you're thinking about summer vacation and you're looking for a place to travel, head over to familypalette.com. That's familypalette, PALATE.com. And there's lots of easy recipes there, lots of travel ideas, tips, even you can get low rates over there from hotels combined. So make sure you check it out. All right, that's it. This is what I do with you. We break the dish.